Hi, third grade, welcome back. Today we are going to start on lesson 12.4. So make sure you have your books out and ready to start on lesson 12.4. Today's lesson is called Describe Sides of Polygons. So yesterday we learned about what polygons are, and they are different shapes made up of only line segments, so straight lines only. Okay. All right, we're going to start here by talking about the different types of lines that polygons are made of. So the first type of lines are called intersecting lines. And so I'm reading right here. Lines that cross or meet are intersecting lines, and intersecting lines form angles. So these two lines right here, that's where they cross, and so that's where they make an angle. Okay, so the orange and blue line segments meet, they form an angle, so they are intersecting. That's where they meet, they touch, they're called intersecting lines. The next type of lines we're going to learn about are called perpendicular lines. Those are intersecting lines that cross or meet to form a 90-degree angle or a right angle. So you can see that's where those two lines meet and they form a 90-degree angle. We would call those perpendicular. So right here, where the red line and the blue line meet, they form a right angle, so they are perpendicular. All right, moving on. The third type of lines we're going to talk about are called parallel lines, and those are lines that never cross or meet, and they are always the same distance apart, are parallel lines. They do not form any angles, okay? So they never cross. They always stay in this kind of like straight line. So we would call these, so if we're looking over here, we have the green line and the blue line. If we had those lines going on forever in each direction, they would never cross. So the green and blue line segments would never cross or meet. They are always the same distance apart, so they are parallel. I like to think of parallel lines being like lines in a road that cars drive on. So if I would like put a little car here and put a car here, those two cars would never crash into each other. They're always going to be on those parallel lines. Okay. Hey, go ahead and turn your page. All right. So let's try this. Let's draw a polygon with one pair of parallel sides, and then draw a polygon with two pairs of parallel sides. So let's do this together. If I were to draw a polygon with one pair of parallel sides, okay, so I could start up here. And those two lines would be parallel. They'll never ever cross. Make that one a little bit longer. And then I'll do a different color. So if we're looking at the green lines, those are not parallel because they will eventually crash into each other. If I kept this going, they would eventually make an angle right there. But these orange lines here, they'll never ever cross. So those are the two lines that are parallel. Okay. Now let's draw a polygon with two pairs of parallel sides. So that side and that side would be parallel. And then this side and this side would also be parallel lines. The orange lines will never meet, and the purple lines will never meet or cross and make an angle. Okay, looking at that. Okay, looking at number 1, which sides appear to be parallel? So we have C, D, A, and B. So let's start with C. What side would also be would be parallel to C? Well, it would be A. So we have C and A. Okay, let's do a different color. And then D and B, those sides will never cross and make an angle. So we have B and D. All right. Moving on. So for numbers 2, 3, and 4, erase this. All right. 2, 3, and 4. Look at the green sides of the polygon and tell whether they appear to be intersecting, perpendicular, or parallel. Write the words that describe the sides. Let's start with number 2. Look at these green sides here. If we extended those lines out in both directions, would those lines ever cross? If you said no, you're right. So we would call these parallel lines. So we're talking about the green lines. Okay, number 3, look at the green lines. We can already see that they meet. They meet right here and they make an angle. Is it a right angle? No. So these would be intersecting. Intersecting lines. And the last one, number 4. Okay, we can see that these two lines meet right here. And those appear to make a right angle. So we would call those perpendicular. Perpendicular lines. Okay, remember you can always press pause on this video and come back when you're ready. Okay, I want you to do this one on your own. We'll correct in about 1 minute. So looking at number 5, 6, and 7, same thing. You're looking at the green lines. Decide if they're parallel, if the green lines are perpendicular, or if they are intersecting. Write your answers and we'll correct in 1 minute. All right. That's correct. Number 5, those green lines are parallel. So if you said parallel, you are correct. Number 6, here's where the lines meet and they make a right angle. They are perpendicular. Then number 7, they meet right here. They don't make a right angle, they are intersecting. All right, so if you need to change your answers, go ahead and do so. And we're going to keep going. All right. Okay, on to the next page. Okay, so for numbers 8, 9, 10, and 11, we're going to be using these pattern blocks that you see right here. We're going to decide which ones have intersecting sides, which ones have parallel sides, and which have perpendicular sides. All right, so number 8, which blocks have intersecting sides? Well, intersecting sides mean two sides that connect and make an angle. Well, each one of these blocks has at least one pair of sides that connect and make an angle. So all of these pattern blocks have intersecting sides. So we would say A, B, C, and D, and E. They all have intersecting sides. Okay, number 9, which blocks have parallel sides? So two sides that will never ever cross. They'll always be in their own pathway. Well, let's look at it. Okay, this side here and this side there, those will never cross. Let's look at this side here. This side and this side, those will never cross and meet. And same here. So we know that A has parallel sides. Let's look at B. Okay, B, all of this triangle here, all three sides will connect and make angles. So if I were to extend these lines, this is where they meet. So B has no parallel sides. Let's look at C. Okay, if we're looking at C, are those ever going to connect? No. So C has parallel sides too. And what about D? This side and this side, those won't ever connect. So we know that D does. And then let's look at E. We know that side and that side, those will never cross. And this side and that side won't ever cross. So E also has parallel sides. Right? Which blocks have perpendicular sides? So that's saying two sides that meet that make a right angle. Okay. So I think the only one that fits this category is E. All of these sides here would make right angles. Okay. And last question. Which blocks have neither parallel nor perpendicular? So they don't have any parallel lines and they don't have perpendicular lines. Well, go back and look. It's going to be B. B has no lines that are parallel, and none of those sides that meet make right angles. So our answer would be B. Okay. Oops. Let's keep going. Okay, I want you to skip all the way to number 15. So on to the next page, number 15. Select the shapes that have at least one pair of parallel sides. Mark all that apply. And we know when it says mark all that apply, it means there's more than one answer. So you're thinking about which shapes have at least one pair of lines that never touch, parallel lines. Okay, there are 3 answers to choose from, or there are 3 right answers. So take another 30 seconds, mark which ones you think are right, and then we'll correct. All right. Hey, if you said A, that's correct. Let's see the sides that are parallel. That side, and that side, and that side, and that side. Those will never meet. Okay, C. C is not going to be an answer because all of those sides will connect with each other. Okay, and B. Those sides will never touch. Those are parallel. And those are parallel. So we know that B has at least one pair. And then let's look at D. Those are parallel. Those will never touch. Those sides are parallel. They will never touch. And there's even one more. These sides will never touch. So we also know that D is also an answer. Okay, so let's go back and think about what we said at the beginning of the lesson. We were going to talk about the different lines that polygons are made of. So let's review. We have parallel. Those lines never meet. We have these lines. Two lines that make a right angle are called perpendicular. And then two lines that also meet, but they don't make a right angle are called intersecting lines. All right. So what I want you to do now is to keep working and work on your homework for lesson 12.4. And then I've also added a video to help explain, re-explain the different types of lines. Okay, thanks third grade. Email me with any questions.